Hi there guys, so apparently Andy Ruiz Jr. is very interested in the Dillian Whyte fight. Now what we do know is Eddie Hearn and Dillian Whyte offered Andy Ruiz Jr. a 7-figure deal to have the fight in the UK. Now after that offer was made, there was an increased offer put in by Eddie Hearn to have that Andy Ruiz Jr. and Dillian Whyte fight over in the US. Now Andy Ruiz Jr. is apparently very interested in the fight. Now obviously it would be a very risky fight for Andy Ruiz Jr. to come back in, but is he really going to be motivated for a lower level opposition? He clearly wasn't motivated to take on Anthony Joshua in the rematch, who was considered previously one of the best heavyweights in the division. Yet Andy Ruiz Jr. beat him, but he could not do it a second time, and clearly he lacked the motivation in order to get up for that fight, because let's remember, Anthony Joshua was former unified heavyweight world champion, and he was going in there to regain his belts from Andy Ruiz Jr. So clearly that was a motivated Anthony Joshua, who had previous wins over Joseph Parker, who even beat Andy Ruiz Jr. himself, and Vladimir Klitschko, who is a legend now, and also reigned for 10 years as a champion. Dillian Whyte is also on Anthony Joshua's record, who is the guy that Andy Ruiz Jr. could fight next. So there is no reason why Andy Ruiz Jr. should take Anthony Joshua lightly, but apparently he did. I mean, no matter what Andy Ruiz Jr. turned up, AJ would have beat him. Anthony Joshua is clearly the better fighter than Andy Ruiz Jr. He proved that in the second fight, and he proved that it was just an oversight that cost him that fight at Madison Square Garden. So ultimately, Andy Ruiz Jr. was always going to lose that fight, considering the Anthony Joshua that showed up. But Andy Ruiz Jr. has explained he wasn't motivated for the fight, and his previous trainer, Manny Robles, has also reiterated this. So Andy Ruiz Jr. clearly wasn't interested in that fight with Anthony Joshua. He wasn't motivated for it. So how is he going to be motivated for a lower level opposition for 6 figures when he could get 7 figures in there with Dillian Whyte, a big name in the heavyweight division? Because if he wants to go straight back to the top, who better than Dillian Whyte to get him fast-tracked back there? Whether he wins or loses that fight, it's still an epic fight, a big fight. There would be a big promotion for the fight, and it would be an absolute war. It would really capture the boxing fans' imagination. So that is why I believe Andy Ruiz Jr. should be considering this offer, and that is why I believe he is, because let's be real, he's a PBC fighter. Who are they going to match him against, and how much are they going to pay him? They have just matched Adam Kownacki versus Robert Hernelius, which is a terrible fight for Kownacki, because Hernelius has a very awkward style. He has good power as well, but his record doesn't really suggest that, so he's a tricky fighter with not the best resume, but I think that Adam Kownacki could get beat in that fight. In fact, I predict it to happen. I think Hernelius will get the victory over Kownacki. If Kownacki does win, it ain't going to be pretty, so that's not a great matchup. So who are they going to match Andy Ruiz Jr. against? They have the heavyweight world champion who holds the WBC crown on their platform, and they can't sell him and make him a big name without mentioning Anthony Joshua. So how are they going to do it with Andy Ruiz Jr.? The only reason Ruiz has that kind of profile is because of Anthony Joshua and that win. He has only fought on one PBC show, and that kind of flew under the radar until it was announced that he was fighting Anthony Joshua. So what are they going to do? Are they going to put him in with a lower level opposition where it's going to be a tricky fight for Andy Ruiz Jr. where he doesn't earn that much money? Or are they going to throw him back in at the deep end against Dillian Whyte for big money and with high stakes as well, where Andy Ruiz Jr.'s career could be on the line? Now obviously if he loses in a very good fight to Dillian Whyte, his career ain't over. He's got another loss on his record, yes, but he is back in the big time. A loss to Dillian Whyte is no shame at all. So I believe that Andy Ruiz Jr. is at a crossroads in his career. Whether he takes this Dillian Whyte fight or not, he has to consider how much he really wants it. He's earned the big money, he's earned the profile, he's famous. Does he really want this anymore? Does he want to go straight back in there with one of the best in the division, Dillian Whyte? Or does he want to take a few gimme fights and start working his way back up and risk getting beaten because he underestimates his oppositions? He would not be able to underestimate Dillian Whyte, and that is why this would be a great fight for Andy Ruiz Jr. to come back in. And obviously, it would be a great fight for the fans as well. Guys, what are your thoughts on this? Andy Ruiz Jr. seems to be quite interested in this fight with Dillian Whyte. A big shot to get back to the big time. Guys, drop your thoughts in the comments below, click the thumbs up and subscribe if you are new. Thanks guys.